banking and finance as well as market. He is a chartered associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. He worked in the Department of Financial Services under Ministry of Finance, India. He joined SEBI in 2003, served for 15 years in multiple job responsibilities. With his, he took the responsibility as DCM for investor awareness education programs in the northern region. So Shri Sharma Garu, as a member in CPRT, also developed vocational courses on mutual funds for students of class 11 and 12. He served as a member of few NGOs also. He supervised more than 15,000 financial literacy investor awareness programs across North India. He was addressed as guest speaker for more than 600 IIPs.
Dear ma'am, please unmute your ID option, ma'am. Please, ma'am. J. Nimilitha Devi, ma'am. Ma'am, please unmute your ID option, please.
Yes, sir. Shri Sharma sir, as a member in NCRT, developed vocational courses on mutual funds for the students of class 11 and 12. He served as a mentor of few NGOs. He supervised more than 15,000 financial literacy investor awareness programs across North India. He was addressed as guest speaker for more than 600 IIPs. So after superannuation from SEBI, he is serving as senior consultant in AMFI, Association of Mutual Funds in India, and apex body. So thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. So it's very glad to have the great personalities like you in our webinar. So thank you, sir. Please address the session, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. J. Nimilitha Devi, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Ramakrishna, sir, and all senior faculty members and staff members of the group and all participants. Honestly, I am thankful and privileged to be with all of you through this digital form only. But Dr. Ramakrishna, when the situation normalizes, I would be happy to be with you physically as well at the first opportunity.
You're most welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I am also thankful to all the participants who have got registered and have actually joined. Almost more than 215 have already joined and more to join, I expect. And I welcome all of you. The purpose of this program is from Association of Mutual Funds in India, Amfi, which is an apex body of mutual funds in India. And these programs are being organized under the mandate of SEBI and Government of India, Ministry of Finance. And Dr. Ramakrishna, sir, I want to make it clear before the start of my session that though this program is from Association of Mutual Fund in India, Amfi, but it is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual funds. It's purely an investor awareness program. And the purpose of such programs are just to sensitize participants to think more focusedly on their personal finance planning, financial empowerment, and of course, mutual fund is only one of the products where you can invest. Mutual fund is not the only product. It is one of the products where you can consider investing some of your money if you are comfortable and if you are okay with the structure of the mutual fund as such. As this program is for the participants, I will request particularly students and research scholars, if they wish, please have one notebook and pen with them so that you can note down anything, new idea or new information which you might find in my session and which they can explore further through Google and websites. Dr. Ramakrishna, you will agree with me. Now every information is available on website and Google. But these programs are just to sensitize participants to think about their personal finance management. And thirdly, I would be very happy if more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be a reflection that they have taken interest into the subject. They have got doubt. They have got some queries. They can even contradict what I say during my session. They are welcome. They might have counter point of view. So I welcome their point of view as well. Once my session is, during my session, if they have any doubt or question, they can just put their questions in the chat box. Nimilita ma'am will take care of those questions once my session is over, and she will ask the question on their behalf. And after my session is over, we will make the town hall open. Anybody can ask the question directly by raising their hand. So the topic today given is personal finance planning and wealth creation. What is personal finance planning? First, we should understand. But before that, it is imperative that we should understand what is personal finance. And Dr. Ramakrishna, at the outset, we must understand what money gives us. What money gives us. Why we are so passionate about the money. Every human being, most of us, are very, very interested about the money. We wish to have more and more money in our life. Why? Because money is a pivotal as far as our all activities are concerned. For everything, money is required. Almost everything, money is required. And Professor Ramakrishna, you will agree that money is an integral part of our life, rather most important part of our life. So why we are passionate about the money? What money gives us? The basic question which comes to our mind when we think about the money, what money gives us? And Professor Ramakrishna, I will keep taking your name again and again. Please permit me, because I would be connecting through you with all the participants. That's the only purpose of taking your name. So I want to make it an interactive session. It should not be a one-side flow that I speak and go and you other people just listen. I will try to involve all the participants during my session, that they can come forward, they can give their questions, and they can even interact whenever they wish so. So what money gives us? And I will try to make it my session, Professor Ramakrishna, very simple. I will not use any financial jargon, research-oriented thing, because those all things are available on the website now. We are in a different era now. Everything is available on website. Rather, we are flooded with the information. But still, I will try to make my session as simple as I can, so that I can connect with the participants, those who might not be from commerce background, from management background, but they still are interested to know about their personal finance management. So I was just asking what money gives us. And Professor Ramakrishna, you might be agreeing with me that money gives us two very important things in our life. Most important thing is our life. First, money gives us prosperity. Money gives us prosperity. And what we normally mean by the prosperity, Professor Ramakrishna, it depends from individual to individual. When we don't have any money, very honestly speaking, that what is prosperity? The prosperity is that the money should take care of my basic needs. Roti, kapda, makan. That is prosperity for the individuals who don't have anything. But once we have some money and money takes care of our basic needs, Ramakrishna sir, this is a human nature that we don't stop there. Then we start thinking about the comfort. We should have some comfort. We should have a little bit good normal house. We should have a normal vehicle. We should have basic appliances at home, so that we can have basic comforts in our life. So money at the second stage gives us comfort. And even when our comforts are met, my dear participants, we will hardly stop at that stage even. We wouldn't stop. And that is That is very natural. It is a basic nature of human beings. We wouldn't be stopped even when we develop all the comforts around us. Once comforts are developed, then the third stage will come. And what will be that stage? Third stage will be of developing luxuries in our life. Then we start thinking about palatial house, a fancy and costly car, all costly appliances at home, everything on the world which comes under luxury. We will aspire for them and will be try to develop that things. So these three stages are basically journey as far as the use of the money is concerned. And compositely speaking, it is the prosperity. But Professor Ramakrishna, you might be aware that apart from prosperity, money also gives us very important thing. Can I ask, sir, what is the other aspect of what is the other thing money gives us? Money gives us security also. No, to a human being, money gives us security, but money gives security only when we have plenty of money. Normally, when we have 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs in our bank account or like that, we will not feel secure. It is nothing rather. Nowadays, it is nothing. But one day, Professor Dr. Ramakrishna will have 100 crore in his bank account. Then, of course, he will feel secure. No problem, Baba. Now, I have got 100 crore in my bank account. If anything, any issue arises or anything happens in my life or relates to my family, I will take care of that issue with the money I have. So money gives us security, but only when we have plenty of money. And Professor Ramakrishna, when I was mentioning 100 crore in your bank account, you were smiling. Everybody will smile, like middle class people like you and me. We all will smile. Why? Because we can dream for 100 crore in our bank account, but Ramakrishna sir, it will not be in our bank account, at least through job and service. It is a fact of our life that we wouldn't be having that much of money in our bank account, at least through job. Of course, through business or through profession, you might have, but at least through job and service, we wouldn't be having that much of money. This is a fact of our life. So the next question arises, how a middle class, salary class person can develop reasonable security, not only for himself or herself, but also for the family members. See, everybody will ask, everybody will definitely like to have security. But then how we can develop security even in absence of plenty of money in our life? Yes, my dear participants, we all can develop security around us by doing these three things in our life. Please note it down if you wish to note it down. By doing these three things in our life as early as we can do, Mr. Babu. And these three things will give you security only. Please understand it. Ramakrishna sir, I will touch upon prosperity after discussing about the security aspect. So for the present, I am sticking to the security aspect only. And Mr. Babu, we can develop security, those who are particularly young. I can't advise you, Professor Ramakrishna, he is a very senior professor, or Siddhappa sir. But I can advise you, Mr. Babu, and people like you who are young, that you please develop these three things in your life before you think about starting the journey of prosperity. And what these three things are, the first and the foremost thing, Professor Ramakrishna will agree with me, is every earner must have adequate life insurance cover. Every earner must have adequate life insurance cover. And Mr. Babu, you might be aware that Mr. Ramakrishna has also taken life insurance cover. Most of us do take life insurance cover. But unfortunately, that is grossly inadequate. So I keep emphasizing here that every individual, every earner must have adequate life insurance cover. And what is the definition of adequate life insurance cover, Professor? The definition is very simple. You should have minimum 10 times of your annual income. Your life insurance cover should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. Suppose, Mr. Kulkarni, your annual package is 20 lakhs, then ideally speaking, you should have life insurance cover of not less than 2 crore rupees. And I don't think, Mr. Babu, you have taken that level of life insurance cover. Mostly we don't have. Particularly in my generation and Professor Ramakrishna, we had insurance products of money back and endowment. Those were basically saving linked insurance scheme. We were, Kulkarni Sahab, we were sold dreams in our life. Arey Baba, you take this life insurance cover. If you survive, you will get this much of money. If you don't survive, your children or family will get this much of money. That was a dream which was sold to all of us. But honestly speaking, that life insurance cover was grossly inadequate, because we had already taken 10 lakhs cover, 15 lakhs cover, 20 lakhs cover. And Mr. Babu, you will appreciate that this level of cover is not going to serve the purpose for which we take life insurance cover. It has to be adequate. And why we take life insurance cover? We take life insurance cover primarily because life is pretty uncertain. We are talking today. We can see each other today. We are enjoying our life. Everything is going well. But what will happen tomorrow? Pramod sir, can you tell me with certainty? Nobody can tell. Nobody can tell what will happen to me tomorrow or to you tomorrow. So life is pretty uncertain, and that uncertainty gives us some fear back of our mind. Always. And not only to our family members as well, that we should have adequate. That is why the purpose of life insurance cover, Mr. Babu, is very simple. That in case I am not available to my family because of that tomorrow or in future, at least my family should get a handsome amount, reasonable amount, which they can deposit somewhere, get some regular income, and they can survive. Financially, there should be least problem. Of course, emotionally and socially, they will have problem. That is there. But financially, they should have any problem. That's the purpose of having life insurance cover. And so please take adequate life insurance cover, Mr. Babu. And nowadays, a pure insurance product is available in the market, which was not available in our times at least. That insurance product name is term insurance, TERM, term insurance. Term insurance is a genuine insurance product where you can take adequate life insurance cover. Suppose, Mr. Babu, your age is around between 20 to 25 to 30. You can take a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees by paying a monthly premium of hardly 400 rupees or 500 rupees, which anybody can afford. But if you go for the money back and endowment for 1 crore life insurance cover, you will have to pay a premium of not less than 35,000-40,000 per month, which most of us would not be able to take. That is why I keep telling my participants, please do consider taking life insurance cover through term insurance. And here again, early you take, lesser will be the premium. Because the premium of the life insurance cover, Kulkarni Sahab, you might be knowing, is directly linked to your age. So please don't keep deferring the decision of taking life insurance. Normally, Mr. Babu, what happens? I am very young yet, what is going to happen with me? Why I should take life insurance cover at this stage? Normally, no, that is a wrong thinking. Because early you take, lesser will be the premium. So please don't take the decision of taking life insurance cover. Do take life insurance cover as early as you start earning. And down the line, you can top it up now. Because suppose you take 1 crore life insurance cover, Mr. Babu, today, and down the line after 5 years or 10 years, feel that it has become inadequate now because your income has increased, all these things, then you can top it up from 1 crore to 2 crore. That facility is also now available, which was not available earlier. So the first thing I want to tell all the parts, even students should understand, when they start earning in the first year itself, they should take reasonable life insurance cover through term insurance. This is the first request I want to make to all the participants with regard to security. And Mr. Babu, please understand, insurance is not an investment. Unfortunately, in our country, insurance is still sold as an investment product. Insurance is very, very essential in our life. I am not demeaning the importance of life insurance cover in our life, but please do understand that insurance is separate and an investment is separate, and keep it that way. Keep it that way. Take insurance cover. Don't mingle insurance cover with your investments. Investment totally different. We will talk about the investment afterwards. So the first thing is, kindly do take adequate life insurance cover, Mr. Babu. Second thing is, every family must have adequate health insurance cover. And Mr. Babu, normally people get confused. Mr. Babu also might get confused. Arey Baba, I have taken life insurance cover, then why I should take health insurance cover? No, Mr. Babu, life insurance cover is different and health insurance cover is different. Life insurance cover will serve the purpose that in case something happens to me, my family will get a huge or reasonable amount on which they can survive. But health insurance cover we take that in case of some medical emergency in my life, or medical or some serious disease might have discarded in my life. Mr. Kulkarni, I will take all questions once my session is over. So please keep your hand down. If you wish, you can send your question in the chat box. So life insurance, health insurance cover, Mr. Babu, we take that in case some medical emergency happens in my life or some serious disease is discovered in my body, I should get the best treatment. And you will all appreciate that we will get best treatment not through governmental setup. Kulkarni Sahab, you noted, unfortunately, despite 75 years of independence, our governmental health system is not up to mark. Unfortunately, it should be, but it is not. That is why we will be forced to go to the private hospitals. But my dear participant, there the problem is different. In private hospital, the problem is different. If a person remain in the private hospital for 10, 12 days, Kulkarni Sahab, you will agree with me that they will raise a bill of not less than 10, 12 lakhs. From where that money will come? If that is why the purpose, this is the purpose of taking health insurance cover, that if you take health insurance cover, you can go to the best private hospital, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. All your hospital bill will be paid directly by the insurance company to the hospital. You will not be required to pay anything. This is also called cashless treatment. This is also technically called cashless treatment. So we should have adequate health insurance cover. And nowadays, my dear participants, a very unique health insurance cover is available in the market, Kulkarni Sahab. And for information, all the participants, the name of the cover is Floater Health Insurance, FLOATER, Floater Health Insurance Cover. It is also called Umbrella Health Insurance Cover. In Floater Health Insurance Cover, Mr. Babu, what typically happens, and when I take this insurance cover, Kulkarni Sahab, I have got the leverage of including name of my wife, my kids, or even my parents in the one policy. So when we take Floater Health Insurance Cover, when I include all the names of my family and even my parents, all are covered in one singular policy. If anything happens with any of the family members, they can go to the best available hospital nearby, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. This is the purpose of taking health insurance cover. So please do consider taking adequate health insurance cover for the whole family through a Floater Health Insurance Cover. And here again, Kulkarni Sahab, early you take, lesser will be the premium, because the premium is linked to your age. So the second, for both the life insurance cover premium and health insurance cover premium, income tax deductions are allowed under section 80C and 80D. But that is an incidental benefit, Kulkarni Sahab. We should avail that benefit. But the purpose of taking life insurance cover and health insurance cover is much, much bigger than availing income tax exemptions. So the second request I make all the participants with regard to security, please take adequate life insurance cover. And what is adequacy here, Kulkarni sir? If you are in metro city, then you and your family should have a health insurance cover of not less than 25 lakhs. But if you are in 2-tier, 3-tier cities, then you can consider taking health insurance cover of around 15 lakhs or so. So the second request is, please do take adequate health insurance cover for the whole family. And now the third and last request, Kulkarni sir, I want to make to all the participants. Every family must develop an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs. Every family must develop an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs. Naturally, Kulkarni sir might ask me, what is the purpose of having that emergency fund? Kulkarni sir, you will well remember that during pandemic, you might be very lucky, you got your salary continuously in your bank account from your employer. But at the same time, lakhs of people had lost their job, Mr. Babu. Lakhs of people had lost their job. Lakhs of people had got substantial reduction in their salary. Businesses were closed. Professions were closed for months together. People didn't have any income for months together. And they had passed through a very, very tough time. Very tough time. If you might be knowing some of your relations or friends, then you can relate what was a tough time it was. So, and one more thing here, Mr. Kulkarni, this pandemic has not yet gone. It is still there. Newer and newer viruses are coming in every day. And apart from that, Mr. Babu, thank you, thank you, Sonuji, for joining. So, this pandemic has still not gone. It is still there, Mr. Babu. And now one more fear has come in our mind. New disease may come like corona in future. And again, we might be confined to our home for months together. So, in case something happens like this, Kulkarni sir, or some emergency arises in our family all of a sudden, for that purpose, we should have an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs, that in case something like this happens, Ramakrishna sir, then we can at least manage our monthly expenses of around 1 year by through this emergency fund. That is the purpose of having emergency fund. And of course, 5 lakh, Kulkarni sir, is not a small amount for all of us. It is a big amount. But we can develop this amount over a period of time, maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years. But once it is in place, you have to make a promise with yourself that we will never use this emergency fund for any other purpose except for emergency. This promise has to be kept in your mind, and you can keep this emergency fund in some bank FD. You need not keep it at home in currency form. You can make a FD of it. Whenever you want, you can withdraw it. So again, I repeat these 3 things, Kulkarni Sahab, just to recapitulate what we have just discussed. Adequate life insurance cover, adequate health insurance cover, and an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs is a prerequisite for developing security for yourself and for your family. And I again repeat, Kulkarni sir, we should first develop security for us and for our family before thinking about the prosperity. Now, naturally, once security in place, now we will discuss about the prosperity aspect of the money. And I just ask one simple question to Dr. Kulkarni or Dr. Ramakrishna. Sir, what are the 2 main sources of money in our life? What are the 2 main sources from where we get money?
Sir, one is salary, sir.
What are the other one, sir?
Sir, other one is income from other sources like house rent or any investments in mutual funds, shares, etc.
Great, sir. You got it very right. Actually, normally people talk about the first aspect only. Salary is the source. People normally talk about this. No, sir. The second aspect, Ramakrishna sir, is equally important. And normally middle class, salary class person don't give so much importance to the second aspect. But I keep emphasizing here, my dear participant, that your money should also earn money for you. Please understand it. And that is equally important aspect in your life. And unless your money earns money for you, Ramakrishna sir,
Yes.
you might not be on the right path of having prosperity. That is why I keep telling in my session, of course, salary is the prime source, Kulkarni sir. Without salary, what we will do? But don't stop at salary. Your money should also earn money for you. That is also we will discuss afterwards. So when we discuss about the first aspect, Kulkarni sir, we get salary. And what we do with the salary, sir? Normally what we do? A majority of our salary goes into taking care of our regular expenses. Majority of us. Rental, grocery, education expenses of children, travel, lot of hundreds of such things. So a majority of our income, regular income, goes into taking care of our monthly expenses. But Kulkarni sir, one thing is very unique with all the Indians, including you and me. It is in our DNA. That is unique to Indians. And what is that, sir? Indians have a typical habit, Ramakrishna sir. We don't spend all the money which we earn. Normally. We don't spend all the money which we earn. We sincerely try to take away some money out of our income. Even a person who is earning 10,000 rupees, Ramakrishna sir, will definitely and seriously try to take 500 rupees or 7. Of course, it will be tough. But still, he will try to take away 500 rupees or 700 rupees out of his income. And the money which we don't spend out of our income, what we call it, sir? It is called savings. It is called saving. इसे हम बचत कहते हैं. It is called, and we all are savers. And Kulkarni sir, you might be aware, we Indians are still one of the best savers in the world. We as a community are still one of the best savers in the world. But one thing lacks here. I don't know whether Ramakrishna sir will agree with me or not. But one thing lacks with most of the middle class, salary class person. And that is, we do save money, sir. But Kulkarni sir, we are casual about saving. We are very casual. Casual in the sense that this month I might be saving 10,000. Next month I might be saving 12,000. Third month it might be even 8,000. Fourth month it might be even 5,000. But first thing I want to request and advise all the young participants like Mr. Babu. I can't advise to Ramakrishna sir or Kulkarni sir, they are very senior person. But I can emphatically advise Mr. Babu, please do and a participant like Mr. Babu of the age of below 35 or so. My dear participants, young participants particularly, please identify an amount of saving which you can comfortably save. And Mr. Babu, I am not prescribing anything to you. Normally people do prescribe, save 20% of your salary, save 30% of your salary. I am not saying like this, Ramakrishna sir. What I am saying is, please you yourself identify an amount which you can comfortably save. Suppose Mr. Babu says that his monthly salary is around 50,000 and his expenses, monthly expenses, family expenses are around 40,000. That what Mr. Babu indirectly saying is that he can save 10,000. Then Mr. Babu, my request is very simple but emphatic. Please do save this 10,000 upfront. The moment you get salary, take away that 10,000 first, as if you have not got it. Of course, it will be difficult. Ramakrishna sir knows it very well. It will be difficult. But sir, it is not impossible. It is difficult. It is tough, but it is not impossible. The only thing required is commitment, promise, and discipline. You have to make a commitment to yourself. That come what may. That come what may. I will save this amount, come what may. And Mr. Babu, if you develop this habit of saving this amount religiously every month, rest assured you will have least financial problem in your life. This I can promise you. So please identify an amount and then religiously save that amount every month. This is the first request I want to make to all of you regarding saving. Second request, Mr. Babu, I want to make to you, all of you is, please keep increasing saving every year minimum by 10%. This is my second request with regard to saving. Kulkarni sir, I know it will be difficult, but again, you all know we get increment, we get DNS allowance, we get increase in our some allowances. So every year, Ramakrishna sir, our salary or income keep increasing. So with the increase in income, Mr. Babu, we must also increase your saving every year minimum by 10%. Suppose this year, Mr. Babu, you are saving 10,000 a month. Next year, it should be 11,000 a month. And third year, it should be 12,100. I know, Kulkarni sir, you know it will be difficult, but sir, it is not impossible. It is tough, but not impossible. Only thing is develop a habit, develop a discipline. So two things I want to request to young participants. Please identify an amount of saving and then religiously save that amount every month. And secondly, keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. Now, the next question come to us before Mr. Babu. What we do with the savings which we are making every month? What we do? And rather, what we should do? Kulkarni sir, what we should do with the savings we are making every month? There are two options. One option is, which a foolish person like me, will only practice. That is, I am religiously saving a particular amount every month. But what foolishly I am doing, I am taking out that saving amount, counting it, and putting at home every month in a box. Every month I am doing religiously. Or I am leaving that amount in my bank account where I get salary. And Mr. Babu, if you are listening me, this is a gross injustice to yourself, to your family, and to our country as a whole, if we do this practice of keeping our savings at home in currency. Never do this. Then naturally, what is the next option available with us? Ramakrishna sir knows it very well. The next option, and rather viable option, is that we should put our savings, Mr. Babu, number one, into acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future. We should increase our savings. We should put our savings into some acquisition of some assets, value which will increase in future, and put our savings into some financial instrument which will give us periodical and regular return in our life. The process of putting our savings into some assets or in some financial instrument, Mr. Babu, you might be aware, it is called investment. It is technically called investment. So please do understand, young participants, saving is the first step, Mr. Babu, and investment is the second step. We must save, but we must not stop at saving. We must our savings into some investments. Because if you save and don't invest, Mr. Babu, better not to save. Leave it. Why you are saving then? Not enjoy your money. Why you are sacrificing so much of things every month and saving the amount? But if you are saving, that necessarily it has to be invested. It has to be converted into investment. So please do understand, saving is the first step, investment is the second step, and we all do. Normally we all do. We save and invest. We are not only savers, Ramakrishna sir, we are investors as well. You must be putting your money into one or the other products. Everybody is putting that. So we are all investors. But Ramakrishna sir, can you open your video for a minute? I just want to ask you a very simple question.
Sure.
Sir, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not, but unfortunately, sir, most of the middle class, salary class persons, despite their sincere efforts in saving and investment, most of us just remain money accumulators. They don't become wealth creators. And my dear participant, you must understand and appreciate that unless and until you become wealth creators, you will not have prosperity in your life. Through money accumulation, you will never have prosperity. Please understand it very carefully. So we should first understand what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. What is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation, Mr. Babu? And for that, I just give you a very simple example. And through that example, I want to make you understand the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And Mr. Babu, I again, please permit me to take your name for this example. The example is very simple. The example is of bank fixed deposit, bank FD. Suppose, Mr. Babu, you have got 1 lakh rupees with you. Of course, you have more than 1 lakh rupees, but just for the example sake, we take that you have got 1 lakh rupees with you. Now, you go for a bank fixed deposit for 1 year with a good bank. And Ramakrishna sir, nowadays the bank FD rate is around 6%. Am I right, sir? Around 6%. 5.5. Oh, we take it 6%. We take it 6%. So Mr. Babu goes for a 1 year bank fixed deposit at the rate of 6% bank interest. After 1 year, myself and Ramakrishna sir goes to Mr. Babu and just ask him casually, Mr. Babu, what happened to your bank FD? Mr. Babu answer will be very, very natural. Sir, what he will say? I have earned 6,000 as bank interest income and bank has given back my money of 1 lakh rupees. That is right. You are absolutely right, Mr. Babu. You have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income and money, bank has given back your money. But when I say, Mr. Babu, you are not right, you might get annoyed. Because you say, yes, you can see my passbook. I have got a credit of 6,000 rupees as bank interest income and my money has been given back by the... Yes, you are right, sir, but you are not right. You are right because you got 6,000 credit, Mr. Babu, but at the same time, you are not right. Why? Because you didn't appreciate two very important factors while analyzing return on investment. And Mr. Babu, FD is also an investment. You will appreciate. FD is also an investment. What these factors are? The first and foremost factor, Ramakrishna sir, you might be knowing it, that is inflation, mehengai. Mr. Babu, we talk about the inflation day in, day out nowadays. Every day we talk about the inflation. अरे बाबा महंगाई बढ़ रही है, चीजों का दाम बढ़ रहा है, सर्विसेज की कॉस्ट बढ़ रही है. Everything we talk about the MD. Even today when Ramakrishna said had started from his home for the university or institution, he might have scolded his kids. I try to squeeze the expenses. Inflation is at top level. So we talk about the inflation day in, day out, but we don't factor in inflation while analyzing return on it. And Ramakrishna sir, what is inflation? Simply speaking, what is inflation? Inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Am I right, sir?
Yes. Definitely. It is increase in prices.
Inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. So suppose when Mr. Babu had got FD, the inflation rate has been 5%. What does it mean, Mr. Babu? It simply means that whatever Mr. Babu could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees last year when he was going for bank FD, and instead of going for FD, whatever he could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees, Mr. Babu, would you be able to purchase same item, same goods after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees? Would it be possible?
No.
It will not be possible.
Not at all.
Because of inflation, prices have increased. Suppose the inflation rate has been 5%. What does it mean, Mr. Babu? That for the same goods, same services which you could have got last year at 1 lakh rupees, Mr. Babu, you will have to spend after 1 year, not 1 lakh rupees, but 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right, Ramakrishna sir? 1,05,000 rupees.
Yes. Definitely, we should consider inflation.
Absolutely. So now you now see the proposition. Mr. Babu was very happy when he got 6,000 bank interest income. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Mr. Babu, do you understand? Out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. But still Mr. Babu is happy. He says, no problem. I have still got 1,000 rupees with me out of 6,000. But Mr. Babu, there is another factor which you must appreciate. And that factor is taxability on return and income. Ramakrishna sir, you must be aware on most of the income and return government takes income tax or capital gain, whatever it may be. Most of us. In the case of bank FD
Yes, sir.
also, the
Yes.
rules are very clear. Whatever you earn as bank interest income, you will have to pay income tax as per your slab. Mr. Babu, 10,000 exemption of bank interest is available only for the savings bank account, not on the FD. Please do understand.
Yes.
So you have earned 6,000 rupees. All 6,000 is taxable. And suppose you are in 20% bracket, Mr. Babu, then on 6,000, you will need to pay 1,200 rupees as income tax as well. And now you can't avoid, Ramakrishna sir. In my time, hardly any people would pay income tax on such income. But because of technology, all such information is automatically
Those days
available
are gone, sir.
with the income tax department. Those days are gone, definitely. So Mr. Babu will have to pay income tax of 1,200 rupees on 6,000 bank interest income. Now you see the proposition, Mr. Babu, you are very happy when you got 6,000 of bank interest income. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation and you have paid 1,200 rupees as income tax. Did you get anything in reality, Mr. Babu? No. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of your pocket. Nothing you got. In reality, nothing you got. And this is the fact of the most of the income of most of the middle class, salary class person, that we hardly earn any real return on most of our investment. Hardly. So you please see, unless when we don't earn any real return on our investments, we are sheer money accumulators. And Mr. Babu, 6,000 which you earn as bank interest was your notional income only. It was not real return. And the formula of the real return, Mr. Babu, if you note it down, please note it down. Real return equal to notional return minus inflation minus tax liability, if any. And I take this example forward. Suppose, Mr. Babu, that we keep the interest rate on FD is 8%. We take it at 8%. Presume it 8% interest rate is there. And then you will earn definitely 8,000 as bank interest income. Out of 8,000, again keeping inflation at 5%, out of 8,000, 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation, but it still remain 3,000. But out of 3,000, you will need to pay income tax at the rate of 20%, that is 1,600. Of 8,000, you will pay income tax. And that's even after paying income tax, Dr. Shipra Gupta, you will have a balance of 1,400 rupees. That is your real return. Please do understand the importance of real return. So the formula is very simple of real return. Real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000 or 8,000, minus inflation, that is 5,000, minus tax liability, that is 1,200 or 1,600, as we discussed the examples. In the first example, we did get no real return. In the second example, we got 1,400 as a real return, and that 1,400 is going to create wealth for you. So please do understand, my dear participants, that you have to earn real return on your investments. If you don't earn real return on investment, you will be sheer money accumulators. And unfortunately, Ramakrishna sir, most of the middle class, salary class person are money accumulators only. We don't become wealth creators, but wealth creation is a must for prosperity. Please do understand. Because until and unless we create wealth, we will not be prosper, and wealth will be created only through real return. So this is a linkage, this is a journey. So please do understand the importance of earning real return. Now the next question, Mr. Ramakrishna, why we most of us are money accumulators? Why most of the middle class, salary class person are money accumulators? Why we don't become wealth creators? There must be some reason, sir. Yes, sir. Reason is there. And Ramakrishna sir, that reason is not outside somewhere else. The reason lies in our mind. The reason lies in our mind, Mr. Ramakrishna and my dear all participants. Why? Because we are on the very firm footing, Ramakrishna sir. Most of the middle class, salary class person don't want to take risk. Arey Baba, no, don't talk about the risk. I want to take, I want to make safe investment. When I start talking about the risk, Nimilata ma'am will send a message in the chat box. Sir, don't talk about the risk. Tell us something about the safe investment. Normally it happens. People start sending a message in the chat box. Sir, don't talk about the risk factor. Just tell us something about the safe investment. But Nimilita ma'am and Mr. Babu, you might not agree with me, but the hard fact of the life is most of the investments have got risk. You accept it or not, that is your choice. But most of the investment, Ramakrishna sir will definitely agree with me. Most of the investments do have some risk element. So please do understand, my dear young participants, risk is an inherent element in most of the investments. Of course, there are some investment, Kulkarni sir, prominently those are governmental savings, small saving schemes, but most of the other investment products do have risk. Some have high risk, some have moderate risk, some have minimum risk, but all have some risk. So please do understand and appreciate that risk is there in most of the investment. Because unless and until you accept it, Ramakrishna sir, you will not think or explore the ways for managing your risk. So please do understand risk is there, but still risk is there, but it can be managed. It can be minimized. It cannot be zero. I do appreciate, but it can be minimized, Mr. Raju. It can be managed. How? How risk can be managed? I just share a very simple formula, Mr. Raju, for all of you. Very simple formula. That is a two-word formula. I don't know whether Ramakrishna sir is here or not, but or he might laugh at the formula which I am just going to share with all the part. Very simple formula, two-word formula. The formula is save. The formula is think, understand and invest. सोच कर, समझ कर, निवेश कर. This is the Hindi version of that formula, Nimita ma'am. Think, understand and invest. It is very important formula, Nimita ma'am. Because just writing that formula on the paper is not going to serve the purpose. You have to practice this formula in your investment philosophy, in your investment decision. And formula is very simple: think, understand and invest. I have used two words, Nimita ma'am. First word is think. What we have to think? Nimita ma'am, we have to think two things about ourselves. We have to think two things about ourselves. The first thing is, what is my risk appetite? Mr. Babu, this is very, very important thing I am sharing with all of you. Ramakrishna sir must be around also, so he might appreciate this proposition. The first thing we have to think about ourselves is, what is my risk appetite? How much risk I can take? What is my risk-taking capacity? And Nimita ma'am, every individual has got different risk appetite. Please do understand. Every individual has got different risk appetite. Why? Because our income is different. Our family liabilities are different. Our social upbringing and status is different. Everything is different. So every individual has got different risk appetite, but unfortunately, Ramakrishna sir, we all do a blunder in our life. All, including Kulkarni sir, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not. Most of the Indians do this blunder. And what is that? We follow others while taking our investment decisions. Sir, ये भेड़ चाल है एक. Suppose Mr. Kulkarni is investing in some of his surplus money, filling some form, and Mr. Ramakrishna just goes to his room and just asks, sir, what you are doing? Mr. Kulkarni will definitely answer that I'm investing some of the money. It is a very good investment product. What Mr. Ramakrishna will think normally? Mr. Kulkarni is a very smart investor. Wherever he is investing should be a good product. So what thing will come in his mind? Sir, I have also some surplus money. I want to invest. Please arrange the form for me as well. Mr. Ramakrishna, sir, we all do this blunder. And it is a blunder, I am telling you. Why? Because Mr. Kulkarni has got different risk appetite and Mr. Ramakrishna has got different risk appetite. The product in which Mr. Kulkarni is investing might be suitable for him, but it might not be suitable for Mr. Ramakrishna, because Mr. Kulkarni might be investing a product where risk is very low because he don't want to take risk. But on the contrary, Mr. Ramakrishna is very young. He want to take risk. Rather, he ought to take risk. So he should invest in the product where high risk is there, because the economics rule is very simple: high risk, high reward. So he should invest in the product which has high risk. But Mr. Kulkarni will not invest in broad product because of age factor. That is why I keep requesting participants, never follow others in your investment decision. Take your investment decision strictly as per your risk appetite. And Mr. Babu, risk appetite of an individual is again not an stagnant factor. It is not a permanent factor. Risk appetite or risk-taking capacity of an individual keep changing over a period of time. When you are young, you can take high risk. When you become mature, your risk-taking capacity has become dampened. But when you become old, your risk-taking capacity, Ramakrishna sir, has become just zero. Literally zero. You will never like to take risk when you become 55 or 60. But when you are 30, 35, you must take risk. Because of two factors. One, age is on plus side. If anything happens to you, if your decision goes wrong, no problem. It may be, it might be. I will rectify my mistake and go for the another investment. And secondly, I have got 25, 30, 35 year life span still, which Mr. Ramakrishna might not have, Mr. Babu has it. So those who are young must think of taking risk in their investment decision, but strictly as per their risk appetite, firstly, and secondly, risk has to be calculated. It should never be blind risk. You should calculate your risk. You should appreciate your risk appetite. Only then you can think of all these things. So I request all of you, please take investment decision strictly as per your risk appetite. Second thing, Mr. Babu, time horizon of investment is equally important. And Ramakrishna sir, we hardly give importance to time horizon of investment factor. Hardly give. Whenever I get money, I will invest it. But on the contrary, Ramakrishna sir, you and me will need money not in one go in our life. We will need money for different intervals in our life, for different milestones in our life. That is why time horizon of investment is very, very important. And to make you understand the importance of time horizon, Mr. Babu, if you are listening to me, I just want 1 hour of yours next Sunday. Will you give me, Mr. Babu? I want 1 hour of yours next Sunday. Of course, not Mr. Babu, to all young participants. Even Mr. Ramakrishna can try if he wish so. I just want 1 hour. Of course, I can't request it to Professor Kulkarni. But to Mr. Babu, I will, and young participant, I will more focusedly request, please give me 1 hour. Next Sunday, please sit with your family members, have one paper. On the paper, make 3 columns, first column, second column, and third column. In the first column, please jot down all the milestones which might be happening in your life. Mr. Babu, Please jot down the milestones. And what are the common milestones? Kulkarni sir, what are the common milestones in our life? The first major milestone in our life comes with marriage. Marriage is the first milestone. Then second milestone is birth of the children, celebration naturally. Third milestone might be admission of the child in a good public school. Then every family would like to have your own house. So purchasing or acquisition of house is the next milestone. Then purchasing of a four-wheeler again is a big milestone in our life. Nowadays, one more milestone has been added, Kulkarni sir, which was not in our time at least, but nowadays it has become very prominent. And that is going on vacation. Every family will like to go on vacation. Every 5 year or 4 year, family will force you to go on vacation. So vacation has also become an important milestone. Then after some year, Kulkarni sir, when the children of the Mr. Babu will get mature, Mr. Babu will definitely think of higher education and professional education of children. And higher education and professional education of children, Mr. Babu, is one of the important milestone in every parent's life, in every middle class, salary class life. We would definitely like our children to have best higher education and professional education. So once their education is over, what is the next milestone, Mr. Babu? Then marriage of the children is next marriage of children is next milestone. And last milestone, Kulkarni sir, I will take your question. Just permit me 10, 15, 20 minutes more. Then definitely I will take your questions. Last milestone and very important milestone, Mr. Babu and Ramakrishna sir, you might be knowing, living retirement life. Living retirement life is also very, very important milestone in our life. So these are the milestones I have narrated, but I give liberty to young participants to add on whatever they want at their milestone. So in the first column, please note down all the milestones in your life. In the second column, against each milestone, please start putting the period when these milestones are likely to happen in your life. Suppose somebody says that he's not married and he's likely to be married after 2 years. Okay, put it 2 years. Likewise, then marriage after 2.5 years, birth children. Then 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, 20 year, 25 year, 30 year. You start putting the period in the second column against each milestone, against estimate only. Precisely, of course, it will not be possible, Kulkarni sir, but just have an estimate. In the last column, it is very important, Mr. Babu. Now I am telling you. You start putting the money which you will need for each milestone. Start putting the money which you will need for each milestone. Suppose somebody says that I will need 5 lakh for my marriage because all other expenses will be paid by my parent, but honeymoon package will have to be purchased by me only. So put it 5 lakhs as against marriage. So start putting the money 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakhs, whatever you start putting, you think against each milestone. Two very important milestones, Surinder sir, I want to discuss with all the participants. The first milestone is, very important milestone, Surinder sir, is higher education and professional education of children. Kulkarni sir, you will appreciate that this is one of the most important milestones in our life. Support today, MBA degree from a good institution, reputed institution, costs around 20 lakhs. Am I right, sir? Around 20 lakhs. MBA degree costs around 20 lakhs. But sir, the same degree will cost after 25 years, Ramakrishna sir, not at 20 lakhs, but not less than 2 crore rupees per child because of inflation. So suppose you have 2 children, then you will need not less than 4 crore only for the higher education and professional education of children, like Mr. Babu, who will have that level after 20-25 years. So put it 4 years against the higher education of children. Apart from other milestones, whatever you have put it, I just leave it to you. Last very important milestone, Ramakrishna sir, retirement life. And Ramakrishna sir, I presume that your institution is a private institution. You don't have pension. I presume that you don't have pension like that thing. And even most of the government department, even they don't have pension. So for retirement life, how you will survive? from where you will get money, because you will not have regular income at that time.
Yes, sir.
So what we typically do, sir, we start accumulating money for the retirement life as well, right from the day when we start earning.
Yes.
So how much money we should have for retirement life? How much money we should have as retirement corpus? Can you just give an idea? I just give you a simple example. Suppose Mr. Babu says at the age of 30 that he manages his monthly expenses at 30,000 per month. Suppose that he says that I am managing my 30,000 monthly expenses. Sir, when he becomes 60 after 30 years, can you imagine how much money he will need every month? Not less than 2 lakh rupees per month because of inflation. Means at the age of 60, at the first month itself, when he gets retired, he will need 2 lakh rupees. So it will be around 25 lakhs annually, multiply by 12, 24, around 25 lakhs. So he will need 25 lakhs per month for living retirement life. And that too at the age of 60. How much retirement corpus he should develop? A thumb rule is there, Mr. Babu. If you are there, please note it down. One thumb rule is there, and the thumb rule is you should develop a retirement corpus of not less than 20 times of your annual expenses when you retire. I again repeat, you should have not less than 20 times of your monthly expenses when you retire. And suppose your monthly expenses, as we just discussed, will be around 25 lakhs. Mr. Babu, multiply it by 20. What it becomes? What it become, Ramakrishna sir? 5 crore rupees.
5 crore. 5 crores.
5 crore rupees, Mr. My dear Babu, and you all young participants, you should have not less than 5 crore rupees only for your retirement life, retirement corpus. So now I want to make you scary. Ramakrishna said, should I make them scary now? Please make the total of the last column, Mr. Babu, and you all get scary. A normal middle class, salary class person who is around 30 today, sir, they will need not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees for their milestones only. Only for their milestones. I have excluded their monthly expenses from 30 to 60 years. That I have excluded. Only for milestone, they will need 10 to 12 crore rupees. Mr. Babu, from where you will get this money? I don't know. Mr. Babu might be very lucky going to Amitabh Bachchan show of KBC, winning 7 crore rupees. But then how many of us will win, sir? Maybe 1 or 2. What about the lakhs of others?
Yes.
You all will have to work hard on your savings and investment right from the day you start working. And if you do this, Mr. Babu, I can promise you, I can give you confidence, you all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees. So, and the chart which we have just prepared, first column, second column, and third column, Ramakrishna sir, this chart is technically called financial plan. This is called financial plan. And I personally feel that every family must have their financial plan. Every family. And it is not a rocket science. Very simple thing. Sit with your family. Discuss everything about the milestone. Start putting in the first column milestone, then the period, and then the money. And once financial plan is in place, Ramakrishna sir, now targets are very clear. What money you will need at what time is now broadly clear to you. And psychologists say that once targets are clear, an individual or human being start working hard to achieve those targets. So please set the targets. Please develop a financial plan for your family. And it is a must. It will give you direction and encouragement to start your investment journey right from the day you start working. So financial plan is very, very important for your life. Lastly, but very importantly, I want to tell one more thing to Ramakrishna, sir, to all the young participants. That is 8th wonder of the world. Kulkarni sir, aapko pata hai what is 8th wonder of the world? Ramakrishna sir might be knowing. Ramakrishna sir? Can you?
Wealth creation.
No, sir. It is rule of compounding.
Rule of compounding.
Rule of compounding is eighth wonder of the world, my dear participants. And those who follow rule of compounding religiously in their investments are 100% sure that they will have least financial problem in their life. And what
Yes,
is
sir.
rule of compounding in investment, sir? Ramakrishna, sir, simply speaking, you have to make a promise with yourself, Mr. Babu. I'm talking to Babu and young participants. You have to make a promise with yourself. Very simple promise, but very tough promise. And promise is, Kulkarni, sir, whenever and whatever I earn as return or income or my investments, I will never use that income or return for my personal consumption, for my family affairs. What I will do, I will simply club that income or return with my regular investment and reinvest it. This promise have to be made by Mr. Babu. Suppose whether you earned 5,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees or 5 lakhs on your investment, promise is intact. Whenever you get any income, maybe 50 rupees, maybe 50,000, maybe 5 lakhs, what you will do, you simply club that income or return with your regular investment and reinvest it. You will never use the return or income of your investment for your personal consumption. This promise you have to make it. Of course, it is a tough promise, Mr. Babu, I know. Because when you get, suppose you get 5 lakhs or some return on your investment after 10 years, your whole family members behind you are go on vacation, enjoy this money, go on, have some celebration. That is very natural. But you have to be very strict. You have to be very much disciplined. No. This return is not for you, for celebration or for vacation. This return is only for the purpose of compounding. I will not use it. And Mr. Babu, if you practice this for 15, 20 years, rest assured you will be happily surprised after 15, 20 years, Kulkarni sir, that your return portion has become much bigger than your original investment. But Mr. Babu, it will happen not today, not tomorrow. It will happen minimum by 15, 20 years. So
Yes,
far,
sir.
what we have discussed, of course, I don't know whether Ramakrishna sir is happy with me or not, because I have taken a lot of time on these very basic and very simple things.
No, sir. It's very important session. So you explained about all the requirements.
Thank you, sir. So what we have discussed so far is that saving is the most important thing in our life for investment success journey. Then conversion of saving into investment is equally important. Then we should focus on earning real return on all our investments. Then we should manage our risk management is there. Then we should invest our money as per our risk appetite. Then time horizon of investment is very important. That can be achieved through financial plan. And lastly, we should strictly and religiously follow rule of compounding in our investments. So far we have discussed this investment metrics. Next 15-20 minutes, Ramakrishna sir, we will discuss about the products available in the market for the middle class, salary class person. Because that is equally important that we should know what are the products available in the market for the middle class, salary class person. And the first major category of products available in the market is governmental small saving schemes. My dear Babu, please note it down if you wish to note it down. The first category of products available in the market is governmental small saving schemes. And one of the most important small saving product. And Mr. Babu, if you have not opened
Postal.
the PPF, Public Provident Fund account, if you have not opened account in PPF, Mr. Babu, you have missed something. Please start an PPF account immediately, not only in your name, but also in the name of your spouse. PPF account can be opened with any bank, most of the bank branches or post offices. The PPF account scheme is for 15 years, but Ramakrishna sir, it can be extended beyond 5 years for a period of 5 years, then again for 5 years, or then again 5 years, if you wish so. And please don't stop this PPF account unless and until you need money. That is very important.
Yeah.
You continue with this for years together. Minimum amount you can deposit in PPF account every year, Ramakrishna sir, you must be knowing, 500 rupees. Maximum amount you can deposit is 1.50 lakhs. Every year, even today, Government of India is giving 7.1% in 10% interest, which will be compounding every year. And income tax exemption under section 80C is also allowed for the amount you deposit in PPF. And Ramakrishna sir, you might be knowing, PPF is a exempt, triply exempt scheme. Exempt. No tax at any level. No
Yes,
tax
sir,
at
yes.
any level.
Yes.
And two very small things I want to tell you about the PPF account, Kulkarni sir. If you have, please deposit 1.50 lakhs, which is the maximum limit in PPF account annually at the beginning of the financial year every year. That is before 5th of April every year. Because if you deposit 1.50 lakhs at the beginning of the year, Ramakrishna sir, you will get interest for the whole year. But suppose because of any reason you are not able to deposit 1.50 lakhs in the PPF account, then the Kulkarni sir, whenever you deposit any amount in PPF account, please deposit it before 5th of the month. हमेशा PPF में पैसा 5 तारीख से पहले जमा कराना है. Why? Because if you deposit the money in PPF account after 5 years, after 5th of the month, Kulkarni sir, you will not get interest for that month. Please mind it. You will not get the interest for that month. So please, because this will make a big change as far as PM accumulations are concerned. If you deposit the PPF account regularly or one time at the beginning of the financial year. And I personally again feel, Mr. Babu, if you have not, if any of the earning member or even student, they should understand when they start working, they should start PPF account not only for themselves, but also for their spouses as well. Because legally you can deposit in her account or in his account as well. Because it is a triply exempt scheme. Then second scheme of the Government of India, Ramakrishna sir, is National Saving Certificate, NSE. I don't have time, so I will not give details of those. You just note it down. And if you are interested, you can get the details from websites and Google. NSC is the next governmental small saving scheme. The third one is Kisan Vikas Patra. Kulkarni sir, Kisan Vikas Patra is the third scheme. Fourth scheme is RBI also keep issuing bonds, taxable bonds and tax-free bonds regularly to the public. So you can deposit. And Mr. Vivek, just I will answer your question, sir. RBI also keep issuing tax-free and taxable bonds, which you can subscribe, you can make investment in. Then government also regularly get loan from the public. Kulkarni sir, you might be aware. And for that, RBI has recently started a new website, new channel. That the website name, please note it down, RBI Retail Central. RBI Retail Central, where you can visit their website, get yourself registered, and then you can start investing in government, in government securities regularly. Then last one is Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. RBI is, Government of India has started a new channel for getting loan for the public sector undertaking. That is called Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. And one more scheme is there, Kulkarni sir. Again, those who are young, if you have a girl child at your home, suppose you have one daughter or two daughters, or even now the rules have changed, even third child also. If you have a girl child at your home, please open an Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana account in her name. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, very good scheme of the Government of India for the education and marriage of the girl child. The account can be opened with any bank or post offices. And Government of India, Kulkarni sir, has promised to give you highest return, highest interest. Even today, government is giving 8.40% interest on it, which no other Government of India scheme is giving. So you can open a Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana for your daughters when they are below 10. There are terms and conditions are there. Please go through the details, get the details from the website. So Sukanya Samriddhi scheme is also very useful for the girls' daughters for their education and for their marriage. All these are under the umbrella of governmental small saving in Kulkarni sir. And the unique feature of all these schemes is there is no risk. There is no risk at all. Whatever government promises you, government will give you. When the scheme matures, government will give you the money back. And of course, the return might not be extraordinary. Reasonable return is there. But reasonable return without any risk is a good proposition. And Kulkarni sir, I personally feel that a normal middle class, salary class person should invest not less than 15 to 20% of their total investment into governmental scheme. This is my personal opinion, that we should invest 1 or 2, not less than 15 to 20% of our investment into governmental scheme. Now after that, there are other products as well. But before that, Kulkarni sir, I want to request all the participants, please try to develop a basket of investment. Don't put all your money in one scheme. Try to invest in different schemes. That will give you balancing of risk automatically. And balancing of risk is very, very important factor as far as investment success is concerned, because we have to balance our risk. Otherwise, it might happen that we might have put all money in some products which have got high risk, and that the possibility is there that we may even suffer losses. That is why it is very important that we should have developed a basket of investment for our investment products are concerned. Now, other thing I want to request other products is, but before that, I want to make it clear that all other product, Kulkarni sir, has got some risk element. Except governmental small saving scheme, Kulkarni sir, all have got some risk element. The second product available in the market for normal middle class, salary class person, Kulkarni sir, is real estate or property where we can invest. I'm not an expert, so I will not give any opinion on that. But of course, you can invest in real estate and property. But please do understand, risk is there in the real estate and property. You don't know how much market appreciation will be there of the property which you have purchased. You don't know whether you will be able to sell the property when you need the money. You don't know that what will be the maintenance cost of the property or real estate. You don't know how much appreciation or profit you will make out of that property. So all these things are there. And top of it, for real estate, Kulkarni sir, you will need huge amount. You can't make investment in real estate by 5 lakh or 10 lakhs. You will need 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore for real estate. So real estate is a product available for you. How much you should invest, I leave it to you, to your wisdom. The third product available, and Dr. Aparna, if you can open your video for 1 minute, because now the product I am discussing about, if 2 or 3 female participants open their video, that will be nice of them. Please keep their video on. Female participant, 2, 3 female participants. Yeah, Doctor. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am talking about the gold. And Dr. Kulkarni, when I start talking about the gold, our female participants have got a different shine on their faces. That is why we wanted to see their faces when we talk about the gold. Gold is such a product. Our female members of the family say no problem at all. As much as gold we have, no problem at all. Gold has historically, Kulkarni sir, is a safety valve for the middle class, salary class person. Historically, every middle class family do have gold. And Kulkarni sir, you might be aware, we give gold jewelry to our daughters at the time of marriage. Why? There is a deep-rooted thinking, sir. And the thinking is that in case of any financial problem in daughter's family in future, they can mortgage or sell that gold and come out of it. That's the purpose of giving gold and jewelry to daughters at the time of marriage. But nowadays, Kulkarni sir, earlier Dr. Rajeshwari, earlier we were investing gold in physical form only, purchasing jewelry and gold biscuit now. But now you can invest in gold in digital form as well. Please understand it. Now you can invest in gold in digital form in well. And nowadays, Dr. Kulkarni, I want to share with all the participants, a very good Government of India scheme is on. Government of India, Kulkarni sir, no private scheme. Government of India scheme is all with regard to gold, and the name of the scheme, please note it down, Nimilita ma'am, and all female participants, even all participants can note it down. It is called Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Very good scheme of the Government of India, where Government of India is encouraging you to invest in this scheme, and Government of India is giving you two benefits. And but before benefits, the scheme, you can invest online and offline both. The scheme will be for 8 years. Minimum amount you can deposit or invest in this scheme is the price of the 1 gram gold fixed by the government, and the maximum limit is 4 kg gold. I again repeat, Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Maximum limit is 4 kg gold. The two benefits Government of India is giving to all of us. First is, Kulkarni sir, government will give you 2.5% interest on your money which you have deposited in Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. 2.5% annual return. Suppose you have invested 1 lakh rupees under Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme, then you will get 2,500 every year as interest. This is the first benefit. Second benefit, Kulkarni sir, whatever the appreciation of the price of the gold will also be given to you. Suppose today the gold price is 50,000, and after 8 years, when the scheme matures, gold price is 80,000. Then the difference between 80,000 and 30,000 will also be given to you. So there are two benefits. First is fixed interest, and second is sharing of appreciation with you. So Sovereign Gold Bond is a very good scheme, and if government is encouraging digital transactions, Kulkarni sir, you might be aware. So if you invest in Sovereign Gold Bond through online mode, then you will also get 50 rupees discount also per gram. 50. Suppose the price is 50,000, but if you invest online, then you will need to pay only 49,950 only. So this is the third benefit Government of India giving you for investing in Sovereign Gold. I again repeat the name, Sovereign, SOVEREIGN, Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Please get the details from the website. And I personally feel, Kulkarni sir, that a normal investor should invest around 5% of their total investment in gold, because that is safety valve only. Return may not be extraordinary, but still safety valve has to be there. Last product where we can invest, sir, is security market, where we can invest. But one thing I want to make it clear to all the participants, security market is purely knowledge-based market. So please don't invest into security market unless and until you have got knowledge of the market. Next time when Dr. Ramakrishna, if you are interested, we can have a dedicated session for your students on security market. That will be not less than 2 hours again, but that will be purely a technical session, sir.
Sure, sir. Definitely.
Then we will discuss all aspects of the security market. But security market has got risk.
Okay, sir. Okay.
And it is purely knowledge-based market. So I keep telling in my sessions, please don't invest into security market unless and until you have knowledge of the market. Because the risk factor is very important everywhere. May it be property, may it be gold, may it be security market. So you have to understand the risk factor while investing your hard-earned money. So there is a indirect way of investing into security market is also there, Kulkarni sir, and that is called mutual funds. Just 5-7 minutes I will discuss about the mutual fund. But again, if Ramakrishna sir is interested, next time we will have a third session dedicated to mutual funds only. That will again be not less than 2 hours. Mutual fund is nothing, my dear participants. It is indirect way of investing. Why we are indirectly investing, Kulkarni sir? Definitely a question arises because we don't have knowledge, because we don't have time. We don't have time also, and we don't have knowledge, because knowledge is a precondition for a success in the security market for that matter. So mutual fund is nothing but you are investing indirectly because you are giving your money to the experts. You are giving your savings to the expert to invest in the security market and beyond. And the purpose is very clear, Ramakrishna sir, to earn maximum return for me. It is not a social service. Please do understand. It is not a social service. I am giving my money to the expert. Why I am giving my money? Because I don't have knowledge, they have knowledge. I don't have experience, they have experience in the security market. I don't have expertise, they have expertise in the security market. I don't have time, they live 24 hours in the security market. That is the purpose of having security markets, all these things. So in mutual fund, there is a uniqueness, please do understand. In mutual fund, there are schemes relating to security market, Kulkarni sir, but most of the people have perception that security market or mutual fund means security market. No, the perception is not fair here, sir. In mutual fund, Kulkarni sir, there are schemes where your money will be invested into governmental schemes. There are schemes in the mutual fund, Kulkarni sir, where your money will be invested into gold. There are schemes in the mutual fund, Kulkarni sir, where your money will be invested into property and real estate even. And there are schemes in the mutual fund, my dear participants, where your money will be invested into international corporates. This is a unique facility available to you, Kulkarni sir, that you can participate in the capital of Microsoft, Google, Amazon, big international names sitting at your place. So that facility also mutual fund gives, because mutual funds also gives you the facility of investment in big international corporates through international funds. So mutual funds, of course, majority of the mutual fund schemes to security market, that is a fact. But still there are schemes in the mutual fund where you can go beyond security market. Likewise, from Kulkarni sir, in mutual fund, there are schemes as per risk appetite of every investor. Those who have high risk appetite, equity funds are there. Those who have moderate risk appetite, then hybrid funds are there. Those who have low risk appetite, debt funds are there. So for all categories of investors, as per their risk appetite, schemes are available. Likewise, Kulkarni sir, in mutual funds, you can invest your money for a single day, for even overnight. Overnight funds are there. You can invest your money in mutual fund for hardly 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months. Other liquid funds are there. You can invest in mutual fund for 3 months, 6 months. Ultra short-term fund, debt funds are there. You can invest in money for 6 months or 1 year. Short-term debt funds are there. You can invest your money for 1 year to 3 years. Medium-term debt funds are there. You can invest your money beyond 3 or 5 years. Normal debt funds are there. Likewise, there are 3 broad categories of mutual funds. One is equity fund, where your money will be invested into equity shares of the corporate. In that proposition, risk is very high, Kulkarni sir, because prices of the equity shares always go up and down. So those who don't want to take high risk should not invest in equity funds. But again, in equity fund, better it will be that you should have a minimum horizon of not less than 5 years. So if you have a shorter horizon of 1 year, 2 years, 3 months, then debt fund or hybrid funds are relatively a better proposition. Second category, in a lot of subcategories of there in equity fund, I don't have time. Next time, whenever we have time, we will discuss in detail about the mutual fund as such. Then second category, debt fund. Kulkarni sir, in debt fund, your money will be given as a loan to the corporate. Please understand, your money will not be invested into the equity share of the corporate. It will be given as a loan to the corporates. Here in debt fund, the relatively risk appetite is lesser. Risk is lesser, but again, return possibility is also relatively lesser because the basic funda of economics, more risk, more reward. If you take high risk, then there is a probability of earning higher return, but no guarantee. Please understand, there is no guarantee. And third category is hybrid fund. In hybrid fund, some of your money will go to the equity fund and some of your money will go to the debt fund. This is the hybrid fund. And 2 very important things, Kulkarni sir, I want attention of all the participants for last 5 minutes only. Very important things now I am sharing. In mutual fund, there is a unique facility which is called magic in mutual fund. Sir, that is SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. My dear participant, SIP is nothing. You can invest in any of the scheme through SIP. SIP means regular investing. Regularly you are investing every month, every week, every fortnight, every quarter. You can choose any time horizon you want to invest. So normally it is monthly. So SIP is regular investing in any of the scheme in mutual funds. And SIP, Kulkarni sir, is suitable for the middle class, salary class person because they can save regularly minimum amount every month, which they can invest through SIP in any of the scheme which they wish for. And over a period of time, it can work out as a magic. I just give you one example, Kulkarni sir. All the participants, please listen this example very carefully. And the example is a fact. It is not a story. It is not an illusion. Whatever I am sharing with you, Ramakrishna sir, is a factual position, but I will not name the scheme and the mutual fund company because that will be unfair on my part because indirect marketing of that scheme might happen. So I will not name the scheme. I will not name the AMC, but facts are there. And the fact is that Kulkarni sir, one equity fund was, please listen, all the participants, please listen very carefully. One equity fund was started in 1995 by a mutual fund company, which is technically called AMC. And a small investor like Dr. Kulkarni started 10,000 rupees SIP every month. Every month he is investing 10,000 rupees from 1995. Even May he has invested 10,000 rupees religiously without fail. And Kulkarni sir, during that period from 1995 to 2022, markets might have gone up and down many times. And normally when market goes up, Kulkarni sir, people start investing into the market because they see profit in it. But when the market goes down, they start withdrawing their money, which is a blunder they do. But Mr. Kulkarni did not do this blunder. He religiously every month investing 10,000 rupees through SIP from 1995 to 2020 in that equity scheme. every year without fail. And Kulkarni sir, can you know what is the corpus today now? Again, I repeat, 10,000 rupees SIP from every month from 1995 to 2020. Kulkarni sir, the corpus today is 9.57 crore. 9.57 crore. That's the magic of SIP. That is the magic of SIP. But precondition applied. What is the condition? You have to be regular for longer period. Typically, what happens, good condition, people start investing through SIP when market goes up. When market goes down, they get scary and stop the SIP. Those who are young, Mr. Babu, and those who are all young, must not stop their SIP for minimum 15-20 years. And if you continue it, rest assured, I can promise you, you will have magic in your life. You will have handsome return. And one more thing, Kulkarni sir, I want to tell here. It is my personal opinion. I don't know whether Kulkarni sir will agree with me or not. Next 25 years are going to be golden period of Indian economy, sir. Next 25 years. But those who participate in this story, those who start investing right from today, will be benefited out of it. Please do understand it. You have to be investor. So please start an SIP. And Kulkarni sir, I know a lot of my friends who have started not one SIP, but more than one SIP. That is target-oriented SIP. One SIP for higher education of children. Second SIP for retirement life. Third SIP for purchasing a house. Fourth SIP for going on vacation. So you can have more than one SIP. And even your students can start an SIP of 100 crore rupees. Sorry, 100 rupees SIP out of their pocket money. So when they start earning, they will have a fair idea what mutual fund works. So please think of starting SIP, but not before understanding the concept of mutual fund and SIP. Don't be in a hurry. Take your time to study the material. Take your time to know the things. Only then you should think of starting investment in mutual funds. One more unique feature in mutual fund, Kulkarni sir, is SWP. I have just talked about the SIP. Now I am talking about SWP. And Kulkarni sir, SWP is opposite of SIP. In SWP, we are systematically withdrawing money. Basically, it is for your retirement life. Suppose, Kulkarni sir, you have been smart enough to accumulate a corpus of 5 crore rupees for your retirement life, and you have retired. Now, after retirement, you wouldn't be having regular income. What to do? Then you have one facility in mutual fund. You can simply send a mail to the mutual fund company where you have got a corpus, retirement corpus, saying that from next month onwards, please keep transferring this much, maybe 1 lakh, maybe 2 lakh, whatever you want, this much of money from my corpus to my bank account every month on 1st. And they will religiously do it, because ultimately that is your money only. But what will be the benefit, Kulkarni sir? On every month on 1st, you will have 1 lakh rupees or 1 point, whatever you want in your bank account. You can enjoy your retirement life as you are living earlier. This is the first benefit of SWP. And second benefit, after withdrawal, whatever remains with them is continuously invested. So you are continuously earning return on your corpus as well. So SWP is a good proposition for your retirement life, but for that precondition is very clear. You have to develop a huge retirement corpus. Last two things, sir, I want to request to all the participants, particularly, I don't know where Dr. Ramakrishna has gone. Krishna sir, you are here, sir? Ramakrishna sir?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Thank you, sir. And Kulkarni sir, last, I want to make a specific request to all the faculty members, please. There is a menace in our country, Ramakrishna sir, very serious menace, which is called Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. Yes. People do come with the promise of doubling your money in 4 years, giving you 15% return, giving you so many incentives. They are all bogus frauds. I'm using a very harsh word, Kulkarni sir. They are all frauds. They will take your money and go back, simply vanish. And Ramakrishna sir, I know you will not invest. Kulkarni sir will not invest. A majority of investor in such bogus scheme is the segment of the society, Kulkarni sir, who are not so educated. Your driver, your peon, your maid servant, your milk vendor, your rickshaw wala, your taxi wala, your plumber, your electrician. Basically, they come under temptation without knowing anything. They invest their hard-earned money in those schemes and they simply lose their money. And Kulkarni sir, it is very, very painful for you. Can imagine how much painful it will be for them if we lose that money like that only. So, Ramakrishna sir, it is our social responsibility. Luckily, we are educated. Luckily, we are intellectuals. So, it is your social responsibility, Ramakrishna sir and Kulkarni sir, to spread this message across the segment of the society that they should never invest their give their hard-earned money to Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees, never. And if they don't know anything, it is safe and better for them if they put their money in bank and post offices. Kulkarni sir, at least their money will be safe. So please start a campaign in your area, Ramakrishna sir. Through your students to try to educate as much people as you can, so that at least we can save hundreds of thousands of people from that business. And last and very important thing I want to tell all the participants with confidence. Ramakrishna sir, prosperity is your right.
Yes.
Everybody has a right to be prosper. Every individual, all participants who are here, all participants who have got registered, every individual has got right to be prosper. Kulkarni sir, I might have born into a poor family. It is a possibility. It is sheer incident, Ramakrishna sir, that I might have born into a poor family. Birth is a poor family is not a curse. But living as poor and die as poor, Kulkarni sir, is a curse, which we all can avoid by taking care of our money in such a manner that we earn better return and we create wealth and we can be prosper. So I wish you all the best for your prosperity, and pray Almighty that you take informed decision with regard to your money. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir, for providing an interactive session. And you provided all information with respect to what is prosperity and what is savings and how to convert savings into investment and what are things available to make an investment. All these things we clearly explain to the audience. And I definitely assure that all audience would have very good input for their investment in future. I thank you very much, sir. And now Nimlita madam will continue.
Sir, now, yeah, Mr. Sabjar, please unmute Rama Lingeswara. Please unmute him. Hello, Mr. Sabjar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, Rama.
Yeah, sir. Am I audible to you, sir?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Sir, it's regarding one question like within a 1 year period of time, our goods and services produced in the economy may not increase, but then the inflation is increasing. So, how can we look at this problem? Inflation is year by year increasing, but the goods and services are not very widely changing. So that's my basic doubt.
Sir, basically, this is transitory period. You will appreciate that because of Ukraine war and because of pandemic, all the economies across the world are down. They are recovering slowly and slowly. That is why, because of the deficiency in the production and manufacturing activities, the inflation is there. But rest assured, inflation will also dampen over a period of time, maybe 1 year or 2 years, and then our economy will come on track. And rest assured, we are going to expand beyond 9% every year. So this is my opinion. So don't be so dejected for the temporary period. It is transitory period only. But we have got all the fundamentals strong. All our economic fundamentals are strong. So it is just transitory period. Let it be over. But during this period also, we should continue to invest. It should not happen that you should stop your investment. You should. One more thing I want to request all of you: when the market is down, please invest more, because market will always up and down. So
Yes,
if
I
you
do
have
agree with
money,
this statement.
if you have surplus money, continue investing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Any other question from any participant?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Sir, I'm Pramod K. Kulkarni, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, sir, am I audible, please?
Yeah. Please.
Sir, the session was very excellent, sir, and you also spoke very well about the finance basket. Okay. There's one saying in English: "Don't keep all the eggs in one hatchet." Okay. So that's one thing, sir. But can you tell me, just for example, you made some something like what you call real estate, liquid funds, mutual funds, then what you call even NPS, then what you call even golden. So can you just mention about what, for example, if a person's salary is around something what you call 1 lakh, etc. So what's the percentage? How much he or she can invest in all these? Okay.
Sir, basically, Kulkarni sir, you will appreciate that basically it depends individual to individual. There can't be a common standardization. I can save 20,000, you can save 50,000 because of you don't have much liability family. I might have. So it depends individual to individual. But again, I keep requesting all the participants, save as much as you can. Firstly. Secondly, whatever you save must be invested. It must not be kept at home in currency form. So Kulkarni sir, there can't be a common yardstick for all the investors. It will be to individual to individual.
Sir, another one, sir. Sir, you spoke what could you give some idea about Bharat Bond 1 and 2, then as well as RBI Retail Central, sir. Okay. Even RBI is a tax-free bond, sir. Okay. So in the next session, if possible, please speak something.
Definitely,
give more
sir,
information, sir.
Because sir, you will appreciate because of time constraint, I couldn't explain a lot of things. I have just passingly mentioned it. Next time when Mr. Ramakrishna will give me time, we will definitely have a lot of other regular session, and I will be more than happy to come to your institute, Ramakrishna sir, physically. So we can have a series of sessions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question from any participant? सोनू जी, आपका कोई प्रश्न है? Mr. Sonu has been one of the regular partner in my sessions. Yeah, any other question? Questions are welcome from any participant. Ramakrishna sir, I think that we don't have any questions, so can we wind it up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Is there any queries from any participant? Please. I think there is no queries, sir. It's a very informative session, and all participants are clearly understood what is the investment avenue and what are the options available. Thank you very much for providing. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir, for providing such an informative session. And I think there is no queries from any participant. You provided all information clearly, and what are the avenues available, etc. And you given a clear presentation about what are the government schemes available. Thanks for providing such a nice information to all the participants, sir. And
sir, I am Ramakrishna sir. I am also thankful to you. I, on my behalf and on behalf of Amfi, I am thankful to all of you for giving me opportunity to interact with your faculty members and students. And in future also, whenever you feel a need, we will definitely keep organizing such programs, this webinar mode and physical mode as well.
Okay, sir. Now I request Sri Srinivas to deliver word of thanks.
And before that, a special thank also Mr. Sabjar Ahmed for making, for
Thank you,
coordinating with you and all this. Mr. Sabjar, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank
Hello,
Yeah, please.
Ahmad sir.
Babu,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Please
Babu.
permit Srinivas sir.
Okay, okay.
Please,
Okay,
Srinivas
sir. Okay,
sir.
sir. Please.
Please,
Sir,
sir.
please unmute your audio option, sir. Please, sir. Mr. P. Srinivasulu, sir, please unmute your audio option.
Actually, so good afternoon, everyone, to the one and all present here, sir. To the Honorable Chief Patron, Sri Siddha Venkateshwara Rao Garu, Honorable President, and Sri Siddha Anumanta Rao Garu, Honorable Secretary, and Sri I.C. Rangamanar Garu, Honorable Chairperson, and apart from Professor Dr. A.V. Bhaskar Garu, Principal and Director, and convener of this program, Dr. C.H.V. Ramakrishna Rao Garu, Professor and HOD, Department of MBA, and the coordinator of this particular program, G. Shekhar Babu, Assistant Professor. Sir, am I audible to you all, sir? It's such an honor for me
Yes,
to.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir. Please continue, sir.
It's such an honor for me to get the opportunity to thank dignitaries on behalf of the administration, Krishna group of institutions. On behalf of the department, I extend a warm welcome to the people in all this gathering. And I would like to express my gratitude to all the extended delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution to make this webinar a great success. And I extend my gratitude to our honorable guest speaker of the day, that is Sri Surya Kant Sharma Garu, to take out time from his busy schedule and share a valuable, inspiring, encouraging, as well as a more interactive session. Thank Principal Bhaskar Rao Garu, Rice Krishna Sai Group of Institutions, the HOD of our department, that is Business Administration, Dr.